Audio, check. Audio. Cool. Audio, check. Waiting for some people to come in. For sure. Audio. Hey, Becky, how you doing, baby? What's up? How you doing today? Lord have mercy. You know, you ever felt like wake up, you're just cold, and you go outside, it's warmer outside than it is your home. It's kind of crazy, ain't it? It's like 37 degrees outside. I mean, I turned my heater on. My thermostat says it's 71 in my home, but in my room where I was at, I feel like a draft. But I don't know. Maybe it's because the wind. It's a little windy outside too. I'm straight, Becky. Good seeing you, for sure. Oh boy. I just been kicking back, chilling. Um, I was just going to apprise some of the First Amendment community that I may be on the verge of getting a hell of a constitutional lawyer that is thinking about taking the case for all four of us. I haven't reached out to freaking and them guys yet, but they're saying the case that was made that's going to add the biggest substance is the complete disdain after they had me in custody, and now that time has expired since then, knowing that what my attorney told me to begin with was false and erroneous information based upon a form of due process on that ticket, that form, that mold that made that quorum for that ticket is a 1985 form, meaning they don't exist, that they're no longer in circulation. This is what they do when they feel the need to bully, harass, threaten, and intimidate, marginalize you, make you go for a ride. There's an actual MCL on the record right now, just 2 months before we got arrested, mandating every officer, unless mitigating circumstances, of two issues. If you are out on bond for a PPO violation, you cannot go back. You cannot be released. The second one is that you are in the commission of committing another crime in that area. They have to catch and release you. They're not supposed to put you in a correctional facility for 11 hours like they did them guys. Or that's where I would have been if I didn't go to the hospital. Okay. But not only did they pull China on us, a communist regime type of action that was very provocative. Not only did they violate our First, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, 14th Amendments, they kidnapped us using fake documents. Now, if you go under the wiretapping law in the state of Michigan, using fake documents, communicating on FAA regulated devices, conspiracy 241, deprivation of rights under the color of law, putting that together, this attorney just educated me on something. The stuff that we already know, but running it concurrent together, and depending on the 1983 that if he decides to take this case, he told me don't count on it. But there's a conscience inside this man that I've never seen before. And if you do see it, it's a divine moment somebody has when they want to make a difference. It's what we're doing. He is one of us. If he decides to take this case, he becomes one of us, fighting his own system from within. And that takes a lot of guts and courage. And I don't blame him if he denies it. I don't. Because he went to law school for a long time. For them to put him at the back of the bus right in the beginning ruins his career, and everything goes downhill from there. Every opportunity he has goes downhill from there. So, again, I don't count on him doing it because of that factor. And that's the only reason, because it's not fair. But that's the kind of people that we need. And if he wins the case, then he becomes a Captain Save a Hope. You understand what I'm saying? It'll be gigantic for him. And then he don't need nobody else to legitimate him. So if that's the case, and if this really happens, he's God sent. I pray and hope that he takes it. I pray and hope that I can follow through with the words that I said to the 4th precinct, or excuse me, the 3rd precinct. Both, because I gave them both a tongue lashing, but Commander Gardner down there, I'm going to hold her accountable the most. She's the one, she wasn't even present, but she was made aware and she did nothing about it. And it's all on the record. If you think that you're going to swoop that underneath a dustpan and expect it when you lift the dustpan for the dirt not to be there, you got to be crazy. Because the dirt's there. It's in open. That's why I said it the way I said it. It don't make no sense, does it? To swipe it underneath the dustpan and lift the dustpan and the shit's still there? Come on, man. Who are these people? Who do they think they are? We're coming into a time where we're not only woke, but we are in a stand your right ground. Stand your right ground state. So everything that applies to them sovereign citizens applies to the citizen. as well. So when the citizen gets their rights violated for the very people that they gave the authority to begin with, what happens? I don't have a duty to retreat. Says so right in Michigan Penal Code. I have a right to redress my grievances to the people that are violating my rights. That it was clearly done on YouTube. Everybody's seen it. I think it's got 1.2 million views. As viral as it went. But what happened? You had cops infiltrate and use certain people, and that is what I was getting into yesterday, and that the community is going to see. And everybody that put their names behind that person using the ethics that they did, they were working for the police the whole time. And that is what's going to be revealed to this community real soon. I told you, they told on themselves, and I was waiting for that opportunity. Now I get to passively just speak it out because I know what's going to happen. The only thing is, am I going to get the justice? And the other 3 individuals that was with me, are we going to get the justice that we deserve for them issues? Are we going to get the proper, are we going to be able to exhaust our rights that was guaranteed to us by the Constitution of the United States of America? Is this system going to work like it should? Or are they going to send more of them people like they have in Florida, that they have in Texas, that continually to be used as tools, whether they're either might be getting paid or they're just too stupid to understand that they're being used, as they sit there with their wooden spoons doing what they call stirring a pot. Don't even know. Some people were so stupid they didn't even know what a troll was while trolling. Ignorance is bliss, but stupidity is just demeaning. And they do it all by themselves. I say to you, and I challenge you today, those of you that decide to hear the sound of my voice, they're trying so hard to take Wolvie down. They're going into my old shit and trying to get it struck. But there's a 4th and 5th channel that people didn't understand on how to use the power of other platforms to get a hold of YouTube. That is going to come to a cease. These investigations have went to steps beyond our normal remedies that we have inside the apps that we're using in YouTube. So when they actually have to present me with the facts, and if they don't, I'm going to go knock on my congresswoman's window down the street from me. You see this crap? You're a representation. They have a 5+C3s or whatever they're called. And there's certain conditions that they have to meet to continue and have them tax credits. And speech is one of them. And if you take my speech away because I have an opinion that you call and demean, gaslighting me, telling me that I am misleading, when I live in the freest country in the world that created everything that you are duplicating and perpetuating. You're using our technology. That's tax-paying money that paid for all the data that they have, the databases, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and Homeland Security. All this stuff was meant for them, except now they have a higher quality that will blow your mind. They have stuff that is in their possession that will outweigh all the stuff that we have, even at our municipality level. They don't even have it. The federal government has it. So, like this stuff that we have here now in our hands, they had back in the 80s. Can you imagine what they have in the 90s and 2000s and 2020s? Oh my God. What's up, Spooky? How you doing, buddy? Copy that. For sure. Brian, what's happening, baby? Yeah, man. I just came out just to those of you that have any personal beliefs in a spiritual world, say a prayer. Number one, for Ukraine, most definitely. Two, for that situation that I just spoke on. Because freedom in the spiritual world is freedom to worship and praise. But that's why it was perpetuated here in the United States and built upon Judeo-Christianity, because of the law. The law was the law of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, better known in today's society as the law of Moses. That's all they had, was the law. That was the very first theocracy under God that were pretty well marginalized to believe and taught to believe what they believed through faith. And it brought the 5 elements of the Constitution that we have, the 5 elements of the attributes of the Constitution, the First Amendment: freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom to redress your government, and freedom of press. The redress is so important when it comes to the other 4, because through the redress, you can press through the redress. See that? You press with your press through the redress. And you assemble as you do it, having faith in the God above that he's going to help you fight the tyranny that you're expressing. You see how I use the full First Amendment? It's pretty good stuff right there, bud. I've been doing my homework. Kind of quite sick of these people thinking that they can just say and do stuff without consequences. Hell, after all, us out here on the internet, we just follow their lead. We see their learned behavior and then we perpetuate it. But the problem is, because we think that we can't put it back in their laps, we get our hearts broken, then all of a sudden we turn on each other. Everybody's fighting for a position everywhere they go. And they adapt and they try to fight for the highest spot in the area that they're in. And I say to these people, quit fighting each other. Your brother that's out here cussing you out, your sister that's out here cussing you out, is not your enemy. That's where I had to take another step back and let some stuff go again, because one word brought it all back up. Because one of my homies from back in the day found out about it. He's like, why are you letting them get away with it? Because he remembers how we used to deal with it back in the day. Becky, I think you know what I'm talking about. You're not too old to be doing that shit. But at the same time, there's things that you've done in the past where if they knew that you wasn't going to take care of business then, you wouldn't have lived to get where you are now. And the same still applies. So whatever happens to these individuals out here that decided to take advantage of a guy that they had no idea had what he had, well, sorry for your luck, man. I'd still rather be me than you. And I'm going to move on. I ain't saying no more. Don't need to. My alibi is my big ass print sitting here in my bed. Whatever happens to them, they did it to themselves. I'd also like to bring to an account some of the things that the 1A continues to push forward. And that is, stopping these road pirates and reminding them who they are. They wasn't made for that. That's not their whole objective, was to turn that cherry or them cherries and berries on and just start pulling people over left and right. That's not why they did that. It wasn't trying to put out traffic. These police wasn't made to do traffic control. We were entrusted to do the right thing because we were taught to obey the rules. So I say, why do we give them? Because the only reason why they had that is to move freely and move fast and efficiently through traffic, so we'll get out of their way, not to pull us over so they can get to where they need to go and to the address wherever the emergency's at, not to literally pull us over. They didn't have that in mind when they first put them on. It was more of a control thing to maneuver through traffic than it was to pull us over and violate our Fourth Amendment rights. Well, let me read some chat here. All right. Every night I pray for this mess in the world. I'm leaving for my family. I know, brother. It's crazy. Spooky saying hi to Becky. Me too, Spooky, but I'm listening and I'm on my phone. Yeah. King Solomon's temple was underneath Edinburgh Castle. The original Israelites. Wow. The mixer is here. I'll check back. And States. All right, brother. I got you. Brother. Okay. He said, leave me on in a truck. Yeah, when the concrete guy gets there. Yeah. I did that for like 89 days, man. So I know how it's done. I poured subdivisions in like the first 30 days I worked in there. That's where they taught me, and that kind of work. But anyway, I don't want to get off focus here because I think there's a lot of stuff that we can learn off of one another when it comes to being in unity and getting things done without any provocation or I think some of these people really have been tore up by other things that's happened to them in their past. And just like me, we're all human, and we find ourselves at like this desensitization where we change because of the things that happens to us or things that we go through or the physical ramifications of what happened to us actually changed us. But the fact of the matter is that there are There's just sometimes we got to take a step back. Just when we think we're right, we might not be. Because, or you might be right, but there should be some wisdom attached to some understanding that can give you I don't know, the strength to recede and to take a step back, de-escalate on certain things. And people, in my opinion, and this is strictly my opinion, but I think some good people got caught up into some webs that they didn't realize that they were in. They thought they were climbing some ropes, and getting into the, how when we were kids, we climb shit and we look down, we enjoy the view. Some people like the trip, they like the exercise, they like the string, they like the challenge, and they get in with it, and then you find out that you wasn't climbing on the rope, she was climbing in a web. Now you stuck to it. You know what? I'm giving everybody a clean slate that's got a problem, that has went off false narratives, that knows that I'm just as human as they are, that knows that they lied just as much as I did. And they knew because of that web that they got themselves caught up into, maybe, just maybe, they're the aggressors. And maybe, just maybe, I could have just ignored you to begin with and not worried about it. And then you would have had your problem by yourself. So I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at people like, hey, when I see you, I see red. Nah, I know there's something bigger going on out here that maybe some of you are educated on, and maybe you just don't feel like it is, because most people feel alone. They feel isolated. They feel what people's been going through the last couple of years is just terrible. It's terrible. Hey, what up, M. David? How you doing? What else we got out here? A couple of people just joined, but if you're just coming in, but if anything's going to make sense to you, just look in the mirror and just look at some of the things that maybe you have done that might run concurrent with some of the things that people have been adversarial to you with, and say, you know what, I've been guilty of that. So the judging you could just put aside, but responding in the manner that you do and how you represent yourself, does it really make a difference with a bunch of people? Their opinions vary on that. It goes up and down, and there's consequences for everything. See, what people don't understand from my point of view, that there's consequences if I left it alone. Because you don't know me. You don't know my circumstances. You don't know. But you'll know. You'll be able to connect the dots if you're smart enough when things start happening. And you'll be like, damn. You either call the FBI and say, hey, this guy said this and it happened. Or you'll be smart enough to say, no, I'm going to leave that alone. Like I was telling them to. But obviously they don't listen. So it is what it is. And if you want to pay that type of price because you think I'm a weak, uneducated piece of dirt, I'm not going to go to the cussing and keep perpetuating and identifying and articulating the exact verbatim words that people use, because all that does is set me up to fail. But I will say the least, by saying what I said. Connect the dots. You're smart enough. Moving forward, mercy is still in my heart. So if it's left up to me, I'll leave him be. Learn a lesson. Why is it that man always has to feel pain to respect something? Why can't they just recede? Why can't they just take a step back? I'm talking about women too. When I say man, I'm talking about mankind as identified from the very ancient days of language when mankind was talk about men and women, period. Hey man, what up? Gas, sorry, pouring concrete, yeah. It's caught in a web. Sometimes it takes a while to find out where true color security is like. Hey, that's a good point there, Spooky. You can't fool Pops. What up, Pops? Good seeing you here, bud. But I'm listening through the truck. Yeah, he's always listening to the truck. he got me on Bluetooth. He got the 4 speakers rolling. I see what he's doing. I don't wish anybody no harm. I don't want to see people suffer for words that, it's like looking at our children. It's like watching them through a glass window and, the teacher's trying to tell you that your child's been a bully and you're like looking at, no way. And now you see him and he or she in real life behind a glass window and he's walking up, taking shit from other kids and pushing them and, battering the other kids, harassing them. You're like, oh my God, where is he learning that shit? And then you see the other kid that took something from him that taught him that to begin with. And now you're seeing psychodynamics at its best. The bully taught learned behavior to somebody else that happened to him. Now he's going to continue to perpetuate the same behavior. The victim turns into the perpetrator. Same thing with rape, especially in child molestation. People that have been molested has displayed the behavior when they grew up and did it and created victims. So again, some people just need to take a big step back and stop fooling themselves. If you're a victim, go get you somebody to talk to. Don't take it out on the world. You don't got to hurt nobody. Why would you want to put the same pain you have on somebody else? Wouldn't you want to stop it? The only thing you could do is face your fears. You might as well. You don't got nothing to lose. You're already at the worst. It does get better no matter what. I've seen people come out of circumstances that you would never think they could. I've heard testimonies after testimonies after testimonies. And I implore them, people. They're very strong individuals, and I respect them. They're not perfect. They still make mistakes. Some of them even went back to the penitentiary. But it was non-victimless crimes. Petty theft. They've been on parole. Same judge looking at you like a punk. And every time you come in front of him, he's like, okay, I've had enough of you. It's time to teach you a bigger lesson than I taught you last time because you ain't learning nothing. Like he's your daddy or something. Throwing the book at people when the book's got their name all over it and they've been guilty of everything in it in one way or another. Exploiting their leadership and supremacy in the manner that they do, thinking that They don't have a judge because they are the law. They are the supreme being. I say what I say. That's why judges tend to, especially all us First Amendment auditing people, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm not that. I'm just a, um, as I said back in August, I heard somebody articulate, look, man, I'm not an auditor. I don't know what I am. He said, I just hang out with the 1A community, though, because this is, where we learn from each other. So I am a journalist. I do videos, and I got a lot to learn, and I continue to learn every day. Most of us really just need to learn how to express the facts without being, how would I put it, too compromised. We learn a lot of stuff, and we know that photography is not. It's definitely not a crime. It's just, and who are them people to say that it is when the very first law of the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, says we can do so. Um, oh, how's it going? Pretty good, man. Just chilling out today. Um, YouTube is suppressing my shit because they have me marked as one of those misinformation, misleading. You know, and the bad part about it is it was another YouTuber that is supposed to be in this 1A community that's doing this because he knows what he's doing. He's got a lot of people that follow him, and that's the web y'all got caught up in, and you might as well be working for the police, in my opinion. Just saying. I don't think so. Munching David, I don't think so. I thought all that. Well, if Dark Side is not him. I mean, that's a sock account. Max come in with Max. Max is not his real name, according to what I asked him when I spoke to him on the phone. But there was a lot of deceiving stuff about that, and I really don't care to trust people like that. I don't. Now, does that mean he's not an individual that is not worthy of teaching rights to or having the same rights I do? No. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. I'm not angry at him, but my better judgment tells me to leave him alone. And people like that because that's called a cutthroat, right? But I'm not gonna break him down and call him a backstabber and start identity politics on his butt because I think that I'm superior to him. I just think that I have better things to do than have a pissing contest with somebody that I don't even know or care to know, is for that matter, from the things that we have um, endured. And maybe he feels the same way. Maybe he shouldn't be here. Maybe he should stay right where he is. See, the bad part about cutthroating somebody, right, is if you're making them believe that you are their friend and you befriend them, say, I got your back, brah, and then turn around and slice you. There's something about that tool that you used that is symbolic to your intent. And usually the intent, 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, you don't know because you've been either deceived, brainwashed, or you had every intentions on doing what you did. Either way, with all 3 of them attributes, the tool that you use to slice somebody is a double-edged sword. It slices on both ends, sir. So when you slice somebody, you got sliced and you just don't know it. And then one day you look down and you're bleeding out and you're weak and you're falling to your knees. You don't understand. This is a symbolic. This is not in a physical world. This is in a symbolic world. It's a double-edged sword. And if you don't know what symbolic is, then, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, for an example, the blood of Jesus is symbolic. His body, his death, burial, and resurrection, it's all symbolic. Water is symbolic. Blood is symbolic. Like the water baptism, that's symbolic for the blood of Jesus because you go down in his name and you come up a new person. You're not going down in real blood. Same thing with a double-edged sword. It's symbolic. When you use a tool to hurt somebody, and that's why it tells you to stay away from witchcraft, because those movies that these people are making that we've all seen growing up, they got it out of the Bible in history. When people have been playing with stuff like that, they get into the spirit world, and before you know it, they're dealing with forces that they can't control, and it comes threefold on them. The Bible speaks on it many places, sometimes sevenfold. I mean, as far as the marketing world, when you sell something, you sell an idea like Bao, Clash of Bao. He's selling them dolls, with pins, and they're going for $200-$300 a piece. That right there, in my opinion, according to the Word of God and what I believe there's a price to pay for that because of the intent. Yeah. Anyway, I don't judge anybody. The Word of God judges them. God judges everybody, and to each his own. But what I believe in, it's going to come true. Because of everything that is happening right now, I was taught that it was going to happen. Not through politics, through the Word of God, which is kind of the same thing, but it's the top political conversation is religion. Because religion really has nothing to do with God, but people bring God into it. Like the Council of Nicaea, I heard this pastor talk about it last night. The Council of Nicaea that happened at 325 AD when Constantine voted, and he didn't go as far as I would on this. He voted on the divinity of God and used that vote to bring man's law and rewrite God's law. So how we can usher that specific meaning and action that they took in today's English, we could say, well, what happened was he took directive policy and wrote operating standard procedure from directive policy. And that's what they did. So they could control the masses because they knew that they could not kill Christianity. It's always a struggle because you're always dying to live through suffering and holding what you believe up the most. And Christianity just happens to be one of the major attributes people snatch on and hold dearly to. And I see why. I am one of them people. And when you do, it's like I can't pronounce DX. He came up there, and he said what he said, and he said he will always attack religion and politics because it is the ideology of them people that they hold so strong is their identity. And when you attack that, you attack their identity, and then you hear them and their denials, and they get so personal with it. Well, you better be right. People that think like that, hey man, you can think like that all you. All I'm saying is, when you stand in front of the king and you went to persecuting people for their beliefs and questioning their beliefs, and you're standing before the people, the king of the people that held his honor in their hearts, and you attack them, good luck with that on Judgment Day. That's all I got to say. I mean, I can't judge you. I can't judge nobody, but the word of God judges you according to my beliefs. I'm not going to debate anybody on that. Nah, I did that 30, 40 years ago. I'm done with that. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome, brother. It's good seeing you. Yeah, the integrity is just, you know, we all lose integrity in one shape or fashion or another because there's identity in the attributes that we release. And some people think that there's a different attribute that you show that makes you less than or wicked or evil than what they are. So they think they have a moral high ground over you. It's kind of like some people, what they thought of me. That's why some people say it's sacrilegious. And I see that point of view. But what they don't have, some of these people are in their 60s that has perpetuated that behavior out here. And I say this to them. I say, you know what's a trip about that? The trip about that whole situation is that they don't use their wisdom. They're only using knowledge and a little bit of understanding, but no wisdom. Or sometimes vice versa. They'll use wisdom and the knowledge, but no understanding. If you don't use all three of them, they're all filters and they're all attached to mercy and grace. That is where you get your redemption. And if you call sacrilegious what you say, you fall back on your default, whatever your default is, when you go to your medium and find out, whoa, I need to take a step back. And then you ask God to forgive you. Or you say, you know what, I need to be better to myself. Because see, that's what humanists do. They don't believe in God. They say, man, I need to forgive myself. I need to stop being hard on myself. And I need to be more relaxed with other people. And I need to be more aware of my actions. I do that, but I do that along with a redemption that makes me feel better about what I'm going to do when I ignore people in the future, if I can. And it's a struggle, but I'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'll surpass it. There's some depth, meaning now if I was what I've learned in the past I don't know, 15 years, I'd say, maybe 16, maybe even 17, is that as I grew and as people seen me for a very big, strong individual that I was, then when I, on this end of things, I still have the same mind, a little cluttered from all the bullshit that's been happening, the trauma, but I'm still the same person. And the difference is people see this weakness. Now they treat me. They would have never have done that if I was the person in the shape I was then. Now. And coming from my perspective, even if I was wrong, and even if I was right in their mind, they wouldn't even have the balls to talk to me that way. And that is what I know. See, that's why people don't understand me, because I know that even when I was wrong, motherfuckers wouldn't come to me with that shit. Lord forgive me. They wouldn't come to me with that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't stand in front of me like that. That's why I keep telling you. There's only one thing man respects is pain. Becky, I know you're laughing if you're in there. Oh boy. God guns. Yeah. What? No one hating me. Yeah, I got you. Gotcha. All right, Jonathan. Thanks for coming in. I hear you. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, now see, there's a difference there, Munching David. There's a difference between what you just said there, that is very understandable. There's some wisdom attached to it, and there's some knowledge that was gained, right? Wouldn't you say so? I would, in my opinion. So, um, the person you're talking about don't see it that way. The person you're talking about will not recede, will not take a step back, will not admit when they're wrong, will always try to get somebody else to bend. See, if you guys go back to that conversation that we were having, Ross Kahn and I was handed on January 3rd. Yeah, I know the dates and the times. For the hour and a half that she said she was on a 3-hour stream with me. Yes, she was right, but she's making the perception thinking that she was literally on my channel and in on my panel for 3 hours, which she's a liar. That's a deception. An hour and 45 minutes. And during that hour and 45 minutes, she was respectful. She was honest about most things, but it was leaning to a point to get me to trust her so she can flip script and gaslight me. That's what people do. And I started seeing that in her and I beat her to it, just like I beat PDF to it. And that is why I make them hate me even more when I go to the extreme, because I hold tons of acres inside their heads now. You guys don't know the psychodynamics that I have used. And that is why he hates me so much, because I got to the point where where they thought they almost had me bending. And boom, I stand straight up erect and it runs straight through their shiver cold body. And they can't stand it. Now they got to get everybody to believe that I am this monster. And they use identity politics to do so. And I say to you, if you fell for the dope fiend move, hey, maybe you can look back and remember some things that something will go off in your head and you'll remember. You'll say, you know what? Maybe, two wrongs don't make it right, but you know what? I understand what that fat dude's saying now. Now I get it. Corrosive control, ladies and gentlemen. I don't play them games with people. I don't play games with people that's in my chat. That way, I'm not trying to control you, but I am trying to tell you this. Those of you that are bullies, I'm your bully. Those of you that believe that you are okay, you're not okay. Trust me, you are not okay. And I hold high ground and you don't even know it. You think I'm down in the dumps? I'm higher than I ever had, thanks to you. Thank you. Because your hate that you're spreading and spewing is the venom that you have to get used to, because it's going to come back to you threefold. And I told you in the beginning, I was very articulate when I said it. I know what I said, and I don't have nothing to worry about because I feel it all. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, and half these guys out here that think that they are tough and smart and they have endurance of a horse, a stud horse, a trollops. They think they have that endurance. I got something for you. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. I would like to caution you, if you think that you're going to go ahead and continue to do so, remember about the articulation of that double-edged sword I spoke on, because I am not coming to you with no knife. I'm not coming to you and trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to dishonor you. I'm not trying to make you believe that I am stronger, bigger, badder. Nothing. I am clearing the road. You have no excuse. You come in here with the intention of stirring something that is peaceful. You have a knife in your hand, regardless what you say. That is a tool. Your spoon is a knife. Be careful what you do with it. Careful. Very careful. How you doing, AC? Just seeing you pop in. My shit's a little slow, so I'm serious. If you're thinking that I'm talking to you directly because you talk about Stern, you just now popped up on my StreamYard, so I had no idea. So don't take that as I am putting it at you, because there are a lot of people that are not as articulate as you are when you say what you say and do even worse things with that spoon that other people do. So, that has nothing. My issues is, if you challenge them, all you do is, that spoon that you're stirring, you become the mix, and you're not the spoon no more. And if you don't believe me, wait a little while longer. That's all I could say. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. give them to that kid down the street. Oh, shit. Damn. A bunch of bygones. All right. What the hell am I going to do with them? Sorry, I misplaced something. Oh, well. Looking for my heart pill, guys. Can't get my shit together, guys. Yeah, anyway. Okay. This is back. I think. Hey, what happened to my there? So, now I'm going to move to another topic that I'm making public. You go to my channels, you'll be seeing a lot of stuff missing. I've forwarded a lot of stuff, and I know what people have done, and it's okay. I quite expected it, especially from all the discontent out here. And, me feeding into it don't make it any better. It does get exacerbated, but that's okay. That's quite all right. Let me read some chat here. Hey, there's nothing wrong with getting along. I'm really not talking to you, Max. I'm talking in general. Do you understand that? If you do understand that, then you'll be all right. If you don't, that's all right too. Because it is what it is. I am what I am. What I'm not, I'll never be. And I'm not going to cry about no spilt milk, especially a person I don't even know. I don't know you. You don't know me. If you had some conversations, I don't know nothing about you, dude. I'm not even trying to know anything about you. You understand that? Moving forward with I wanted to see if I could find a video. Stand by. This explains everything I feel. So, what I'm about to show you is what's really happening and what I think is really happening. When I say what I'm saying here, AC, I'm not trying to bring up anything in the past on us. This is not what I'm trying to get across, but I'm going to show you the video that I was pertaining to in my mind. Okay, when I said I was your ancestor. Remember that? Here you go, bud. This one's for you, the people that I said that to.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
That's me or you, AC. That's you and the view that I call. Because what I'm saying, I know to be true. And just because 5 other people that are with you that have an army of followers think the way you do doesn't make it so, as you see in this video.
I especially
Well,
like
what about of all of them? I mean, Scott
fake
Walker.
laughter from the audience.
Scott Walker, would you say?
Of the ones who aren't declared, no, Romney Walker's my ticket.
Romney Walker. See, but last time you said if we nominate Romney, we'll definitely lose.
And I was right, but
well, why will he win this?
That was 2
third
years
time's the
in
charm?
advance, and it was because actually it was third time was the charm for Reagan.
Right.
It was because it's very hard to take out an incumbent, and the reason I supported Christie back then, and I don't now, was because he's so flashy and idiosyncratic that we probably were going to lose, but the only shot we had was this wild, idiosyncratic guy. I think Romney would crush Hillary.
I would do anything for
Though
Trump.
if you ran,
Trump,
if you ran Bernie Sanders, it would be much tougher.
Bernie Sanders?
It would be much tougher to beat him than
As you see, everything she said was true because Bernie Sanders did, in fact, run. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders did, in fact, run. And they stole his nomination from him. Hillary stole his nomination. Here's another one for you. This is why I keep telling you I'm your Ann Coulter. Okay? I tell you something, you get your people to believe something that is not true, that I know to be true. And here you go. Yeah, but y'all voted him in. Now, see, right there, they're saying, no, he didn't. They're, in fact, in error. Obama did have the House of Representatives, and he did have the Senate for almost 2 years. That is right. And the rest, everybody else here, are against this young lady over here, and she's been right on 98% of everything she said. Yeah. You see, that government health care that's being used And what this stringless puppet said right here to get y'all to believe the woke left, okay? What would it do for you this year? They picked and choose who what? Fill in the blanks. I ain't saying it. Government healthcare did what? Who's essential? Oh, that word essential is major in today's society, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So now that you have a dictator government picking and choosing who what and who what, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Not really. That's what Joe Biden thought. Joe Biden thought the enemy of his enemy was going to be used in um, the area he used it in when he gave intel to the Chinese. That guys, to the Chinese. And why is this stuff acting so slow? Yeah, he gave intel to the turned it over to the Russians, and the Russians invaded what we know over there as Ukraine. So when I said I'm your Ann Coulter, I meant it. That's exactly what I'm saying. The beginning of them too, when she told him what was up and what the future was. Mm-hmm. I don't like to repeat it because we got bots that literally are attacking my channel right now because some people sicked them on me that I know who they are and they know that I know who they are. And that is who they are. And they pretend that they are, and you are a very little bit of people. Very little. My voice will be echoed in the next few days more than ever across the world. Not just here in our little country. My voice is going to be heard across the world because I've been echoing the same sentiments out here. And you guys just ain't smart enough to understand it because you've been indoctrinated by something that has told you that they are your friends when in fact they've been gaslighting you the whole time. And you've been perpetuating that behavior on each other. And you are your worst enemy, as you tell me. And I've been I let it play out. I even threw some gas on it myself. Just so you guys don't have to take the full blame when it comes to being gaslitten. But I didn't come with a weapon. I came one-handed. Wow. That says boatloads, don't it? And it was empty. You couldn't hear it? It don't matter. People are so manipulative out here. You could say whatever you want to say. You ain't changing my mind. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, you come into my stream with a knife. You know what I mean? I'm your Ann Coulter, man. In the begin was true. You want to call that a lie? Go ahead. You're lying to yourself. I expect some of the things that I have gaslit out here. I anticipated it. But where it came from was something more than just Wolvie drawing blood, because Wolvie didn't draw no blood. They drew first blood. I didn't go to them. They came to me. I didn't go to them. They came to me. There is no other way of saying it but the way I am. And without giving up strategic values that I hold, that are strongholds, that I know that always work, that has never let me down, is the truth in them tactics. Because some people believe that there's madness to their method. That's called methodology. Literally, they smoking meth. No, I'm joking. I think it's funny. What the hell happened here? Ooh, interesting. Ooh, commit another crime. Sad. Busted. Dumbasses. These guys out here that are committing crimes are just straight out dumb. I don't know what else to tell them. I mean, you want to commit a crime in broad daylight when everybody's watching, you think, okay, you know, they're not. What gets me is you got yourself on the majority of the people that I know out here got themselves on a watch list, and you're committing crimes. It's kind of weird, don't you think? In broad daylight, and you think nobody's watching you, and you think because everybody else is doing it that, you know, it's okay for you to do it. And I'm just sitting there saying, wow, what happened? What's going on? What in the same hell's going on out here, right? What in the same hell's going on out sorry, here? Guys. You know, I keep getting rid of this, and it keeps coming back. How do I get rid of that? Bam! Goodbye. I don't want it. All right. How do I do that? Okay. Ooh, it's almost that time too. Got to start up the Snowberg. I'm done talking. What a trip. I don't know, some of these things in here, these devices, they're the hell is wrong with this thing? Okay, that is under. Okay, and go back to here. And go back. All right, good. Cool. All right, man. Well, I gotta go. It was good talking to you. God bless. Be cool. And I will come out later. See you.